Hello. So, for those of you that may or may not know, today, the 7th, is the 25th anniversary of Final Fantasy IX. Exactly 25 years ago, the game was released in Japan. And many fans have speculated that today is the day that Square Enix is going to announce the remake. I have my own thoughts on remakes and that sort of thing. Not just Final Fantasy IX, but with some other remakes, including 7. But I wanted to. They did release a sort of celebration a couple hours ago, and I wanted to watch that and react to that real quick. I'm in the process of playing through Final Fantasy IX, so I haven't gotten to finish it yet. Um, about 10 to 15 hours into it. I'm enjoying it so far. I think I think being only that far into it, I would say that it's a good starter Final Fantasy. Like if you're looking to get into the series, okay. So it's like we got new character art. Let me move my screen real quick so you can see it a little bit better. So we got a new character art. If you've been following Square Enix's Facebook or Instagram page, you will have seen some of this stuff. And it's very well done character art. And it's, of course, fueled the flames on whether or not there's going to be a Final Fantasy IX remake. Um, so my stances on remakes are that if a game is readily available, like Final Fantasy IX is, you can get a used copy for between 20 to 30 bucks, sometimes cheaper. You can get a you can get the remaster for between about $20 to $25 on Xbox, PlayStation, PC, Switch. So all the modern platforms have it available. Um, and from what I understand and from what I've played already, Final Fantasy IX is a classic. So to me, I would rather they put resources into making Final Fantasy 17, or if they're going to put something into the Final Fantasy IX license, I would rather see a sequel or a new story set in this same world rather than a retreading of a story that we've seen already in a story that I think that the game is really good. I'm enjoying it so far. I think there is something as far as the battle system, something charming about its simplicity. It reminds me a lot of Final Fantasy One, and I know that Sakaguchi, the creator's intention was to make callbacks to the first six games because with Final Fantasy Seven and Eight, they definitely had their own identity. Whereas these, he wanted to make a PlayStation One version of the classic Final Fantasy games, and I think that he definitely succeeded with that. Um, so I think with remakes for me, I make an exception for stuff like Resident Evil 2 and 3 because the original games are expensive and they're hard to find. And if you want a digital version, at least at the time of when they were made, you had to have a PS3. From what I understand, the PS5 you could get at least the original Resident Evil. I don't know about 2 and 3 just yet, or for example, something like Xenogears, which was rushed during its last half. Like they originally were just gonna have the people making the game just cut it, have the into disc one be the end of the game, and they compromised by making the disc two pretty much a slideshow with gameplay intertwined. So games that are I guess, released incomplete, but are still classics, could benefit from a remake. Or Xenogears, also, if you want a physical version of that, is super expensive. And if you want a digital version of it, again, you have to have a PlayStation 3. It's a bummer that Xenogears isn't available on modern consoles. Um, and remaking games like that totally makes sense to me. But I feel like a game like Final Fantasy VII, which has two remakes, well, two parts in its remake, I should say. And that's another thing I would love to avoid with Final Fantasy IX. I know Final Fantasy IX had 4 discs, so I don't want to see 4 different parts spread throughout. Getting one every 3 to 4 years. I would just love to see the whole story completed. And Final Fantasy VII remake, while yes, is a special case, I guess, because if you know what the game is, I won't spoil it for those that haven't played it yet, I guess. Um, like, I don't think you could pull that same thing with any of the other Final Fantasies, especially with 9. Um, I don't think Final Fantasy 9 would have to have a part 1, a part 2, and a part 3. I think fans have been against that, despite Final Fantasy Remake and Rebirth being really well received by the fandom. So that's another thing that I will say. If Final Fantasy IX Remake, if this thing does exist, if it has as much love as Final Fantasy Remake and Rebirth, then fine. Um, you'll see me reacting to a trailer, if there is a trailer, sometime today or later this week. I'll see if I can talk my lovely fiance into being a impartial party and getting her thoughts on it as well. But I guess any new Final Fantasy content I'm excited for, but I would love to see the series move forward rather than going backwards. And again, if we must move backwards, I would much rather see a a sequel or a story set in this same world. But yeah, that's I wanted to touch on this because I wanted to talk about the potential of Final Fantasy IX remake, and a lot of people are really excited about that prospect, and I don't want to take away from that. It's not that I'm completely against it. I would just rather the series move forward. But I'll just leave it there. Take care.